In this video tutorial, you will learn how to set up the settings of the measuring elements and functions of ED2 series devices. Before working with the configuration, we recommend you to watch the video tutorial opening and saving of configuration file. Functions in the ED2 series IEDs can be represented in the form of completed library elements in the measuring elements and functions section, or as a combination of library elements from the measuring elements and functions section and programmable logic elements from the diagram section. To set up measuring elements and functions in the configurator software, open the measuring elements and functions section. A list of added measuring elements and functions is displayed in the opened window, along with a parameter field of the selected measuring element or function. Operation algorithm of measuring elements and functions, presented in the relevant section, stored in the IED system software and cannot be changed through configurator. If necessary, the results of measuring elements and functions operation can be used in the diagram and formulas sections to create logic protection schemes, control automation and custom project algorithms. Additionally, in the formulas section there is an option to read the actual values of settings and internal calculated parameters of measuring elements and functions. This information can be further transmitted via digital communication channels or used for organizing custom algorithms as formulas of calculated values. For the purposes of illustration, let's set up the transformers OCP. The ID parameter has the function name in the configuration, which by default is the same as the library name of function. The ID parameter can be changed if needed. A library name of function is specified in the library protect parameter. The protects group arranges functions into the logic groups. For each group, logic creates a frame, which allows to visually combine the parts of logic diagram of the same group. All settings of logic elements, combined by this frame, are grouped in the settings section under the relevant group name. Full name of measuring element, which as a rule reflects its designation, is specified in the name field. The protect input logic signal parameter allows enabling the function by any signal from the table of IED signals. For example, the function can be enabled from the CAM switch, which sends the signal to the IED binary input. If a signal is specified in the protect input logic signal field, and the changing the protect IO is allowed box is checked, then the function will be enabled depending on the presence of the protection entered setting and availability of the chosen signal. If the value none is specified in the protect input logic signal field, or the changing the protect IO is allowed box is unchecked, then the function will be enabled only by the protection entered setting. In the protect IO LED parameter, specify the front panel LED, on which the signal of function IO actual status will act. The full list of LEDs, available for designation to this signal, is shown in the drop-down list. We recommend selecting one of the vacant LEDs, because after its selection, the binding of the signal to this LED will be automatically duplicated in the indication matrix, all previously specified signals will be reset and its changing will not be possible. Analog inputs, used in the measuring element, are specified in the inputs field. When needed, the measuring element binding can be changed. Every measuring element and function has the restrictions on analog signals binding in the inputs field, depending on its operation principle. For example, three-phase measuring element of the transformer's current requires a three-phase current system in the analog inputs section. The single-phase non-directional overcurrent element, a single-phase current. If the needed analog inputs are absent, check their availability in the relevant section, as well as their settings and grouping. More information on configuration of analog inputs can be found in the video tutorial on the configuration of ED2 series IEDs analog inputs and measured values. Depending on the function, there can be the digital inputs field available, where logic signals are specified. All settings and parameters of the selected measuring element are shown in the settings field. A permissible range is shown for every setting. Some settings have an option of switching the units from absolute to relative. Upon switching to PU, the setting is automatically recalculated with reference to the base value of the corresponding analog input. If there are several setting groups in the IED, the settings will be shown for every group. When the unique range box is checked, the user-defined range is applied. If this box is unchecked, the default setting range, provided for this measuring element in the system software, is used. If it is necessary to specify the setting out of the default range, check the unique range box and specify the setting range required by the project. When using this checkbox and specifying the setting range wider compared to the default one, we recommend consulting with the manufacturer or its representative. Add a description of every setting in the description column for convenience. The output field shows the output signals of measuring elements, which can be output to the logic scheme and IED signals table. After this, signals can be assigned to the front panel LEDs, binary outputs, or sent via the digital communication protocols. Assign the internal calculated parameters of measuring element to disturbance recording in the calculated parameters of protection field. Here, these are the values of line currents, calculated based on the phase currents in the inputs field of measuring element. After configuration editing, save it in the File menu, or by pressing the Save button on the toolbar. This video tutorial is over. We hope it was useful to you. Thank you for attention.